When Donald Trump first entered office, he declared that the United States would no longer accept the status quo with China. He argued that China was gaining at America's expense and that free trade rules needed. His administration therefore adopted a policy of strategic competition with China, aiming to slow China's advances, hold Beijing more accountable, and protect U.S. interests. A major tool in Trump's China policy was tariffs. The United States imposed sweeping tariffs on Chinese imports, and China responded with its own tariffs. For example, the U.S. declared a national emergency over foreign trade practices and moved to impose responsive tariffs. The White House, however, analysts say that while the tactics were bold, they did not fully achieve the intended goals of rebalancing bilateral power or significantly slowing China's rise. Trump's China policy also targeted dependencies, especially in critical areas like electronics, pharmaceuticals, steel, and rare earth minerals. He stated his objective: to completely eliminate dependence on China in all critical areas. In 2025, the U.S. and China struck a tentative deal on rare earths and minerals, resuming exports as part of an effort to ease supply chain constraints. But these moves also reflect how the competition is no longer just trade. It's about industrial leadership, technology, security, and influence. The results are mixed. While the U.S. pushed hard on tariffs, China continued to grow, and global views of the U.S. slipped. A global analysis found that while America's favorability declined, China's rose during the period. Ultimately, observers say the Trump experiment has not yet achieved many of its ambitions. Cooperation has eroded, confrontation has increased, and the capacity to manage China competing interests has weakened. Turning now to Russia. In late 2025, Russian officials announced Russia also indicated it is drafting proposals for a possible nuclear test, something not done since the collapse of the Soviet-era moratorium. The Burevestnik missile is especially alarming because of its claimed ability to evade defenses. Analysts at the Center for Strategic and International Studies say its nuclear-powered propulsion has serious implications for missile defense. In Russia's framing, these new weapons are being developed to defeat U.S. missile shield systems and preserve Russian strategic deterrence. When asked about the missile test, Trump said it was not appropriate and urged Putin to end the war in Ukraine rather than pursue new weapons. Security experts described the new Russian tests as part of a renewed nuclear arms race dynamic, raising risks of escalation and increased instability. New weapons reduce warning times, complicate defense planning. The abatement of nuclear testing norms may lead to new arms buildup globally. Asia-Pacific, Europe, and beyond may feel ripple effects. For policymakers and citizens, the major powers are once again placing high stakes on advanced, high-risk weapons. At first glance, China and Russia might appear to be separate tracks. One economic-industrial rivalry, the other military-nuclear showdown. But in fact, they are deeply connected. Trump's hardline posture with China signals U.S. willingness to contest power in Asia and globally. At the same time, Russia's missile tests remind us that traditional great power competition, including nuclear competition, is very much alive. The era of benign U.S. dominance is fading. Competition across economics, technology, and military domains is rising. Under Trump's leadership, U.S.-China relations shifted toward confrontation and industrial rivalry. Meanwhile, Russia's missile tests signal that nuclear competition is alive and evolving. These two streams, one economic, one strategic, are converging into a tougher era of global. If you found today's analysis useful, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you don't miss future deep dives. What do you think? Will the U.S. manage this competition well, or are we heading into dangerous waters? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.